Welcome to 5-Minute Maths at DECV. Learn a lot in a little bit of time. Thank you for listening to this session here. Let's have a look at what we learned last week. We learned last week why our number system is based on groups of 10. It's because we have 10 fingers and it made it easier to count. Why is our number system based on groups of 10? When we have 10 of those, we have one of those, and when we have 10 of those, we have one of those, so we exchange the whole time. Last time we did 5-Minute Maths, nearly everybody said yes to this being a number. If I were to ask you, how do you know it's a number and what is its value? You really couldn't tell because the numbers are scattered all over the place. And this can cause problems. Is the number 3749 or 4739? We don't know because they're not in a place. Now let me explain with the next slide. Here are the letters of the alphabet. Do these make words? You could arrange the letters to make words. It's the same for the numbers. These do not make a number because they are scattered randomly and we don't know the value of the 3, the value of the 4, the 7 or the 9. So we have to know whether it's 3 rocks, 3 fingers or 3 sticks or 3 ones, tens, hundreds or thousands. Well, let's have a look at what we can do to make these numbers mean something. Now, when we take these numbers and organise them in an order that makes sense, we know that this has, there's a cat, it has meaning. We know this is a dog, it has meaning. So the same if we take our other numbers, they're organised in columns. These columns are known as place value. Each column has a value. Now, if I was to take that 9, move it over here, and take that 3 and move it over there, I have a different number. The 3 is now in the ones column, and the 9 is worth 1,000 times more at 9,000 in the thousands column. Let's rearrange this number again. And we've changed the values by putting the numbers in different columns. The 4 has a value of 1,000. The 9 has a value of 100. The 7 has a value of 10 and 3 has a value of 1s. Because that is how we decided when we go back to this one. When we have 10 ones, we make 1 10. When we have 10 tens, we make 100. So we're continuously counting and exchanging. This is how the place value chart looks. We can go on forever in that direction, but each time we go, it's 10 times more, 10 times more. Or we can go the other way, and it's 10 times less, 10 times less. Later on we'll learn about a decimal point that goes here and about tenths, hundreds and thousands, but that's a little way down the track. Let's have a look at another way of grouping numbers. Remember we talked about groups of 10. Here is a number chart to help you read your numbers. We have ones, tens, hundreds, and that could be 357. Then we have 1,000s, 10,000s, 100,000s, and that's 300,000, 304,000, 576. Just making up numbers there. So sometimes you'll see a comma in this space, sometimes it's a space. That is a strategy to help us group numbers and look at how well they work. And of course, pause the tape and practice saying these large numbers, remembering that there's only 1 million there, There's 749,000, because that's the group there, and 61. There are no hundreds. These zeros are very important. We might learn about them next week. So, how do we use groups of 10 in place value columns, the order of numbers, to understand the value of a number? Let's look at how groups of 10 are used to add, subtract, divide and multiply numbers. Groups of 10 are very important in our number system. You know that these are the ones, these are the tens, these are the hundreds, and these are the thousands. They could be anything, but today that's what we're calling them. So 10 of those equal one of those, 10 of those equal one of those, and 10 of those equal one of those. Let's have a look how we can make it work. Can you see what I'm doing? I have got a collection, a group of 10. I've counted something and I just want to see what it means. Now, what happened is, once I have a group of 10, it becomes 110, which goes into that column, and it looks to me like I have 5 ones. Let's look at that again. Okay, I'm counting my bags of barley or sheep coming through the gate. Let's have a look. I've run out of fingers, and straight away I have a group of 10 which goes into that column, and straight away I can see, I can check that I have counted 27. I wonder what happens here. Let me have a look. If I keep getting groups of 10, let me see. These could be what we saw as sticks in a previous 5-minute math session. Oh, I'm not getting a good group here. Maybe my grouping skills need a bit of work. Let's group them again, shall we? Okay, be patient with me. If the computer won't do it, I have to do it myself. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Can you see how counting by tens is a lot quicker than counting by ones? There's my 10 groups of 10. So when I have 10 of these, I have one of those. Oh, I wonder if we can make 10 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's see what the computer does for us today. It did. So when I have 10 groups of 100, I make one group of 1000. And here's our number in the place value column. So that is how place value is important in our number system. Groups of 10 are important, and the exchange. When we have 10 of these, we make one of those. When we have 10 of these, we make one of those. And of course today we've made the number 1,347. It's a lot quicker to count in groups of tens, hundreds or thousands than it is to count 1,347 by ones. This is called the National Library of Virtual Manipulatives. If you want to learn more, go and have a look. Thank you. Here is the place value chart organised in groups of colours. The lighter colours are the lesser value, the darker colours are the greater value. When we have to keep adding new columns because our numbers get bigger, every column is 10 times greater than the previous column. And of course, if we need to divide numbers or subtract numbers, we go this way, and soon we'll learn about the decimal place value there. Now let's think about what you already know about the number system. You should know, think about it, our number system is based on groups of 10. Our numbers are organised in columns to show the value of each digit. When we have 10 ones, we change it to 110. When we have 10 tens, we change it to 100. When we have 10 hundreds, we change it to 1000. So that goes on and on and on. And every time we make a group of 10, it goes into the next column. Every column is 10 times more than the previous column. That's really important. And of course, when you organise numbers, the most you can put in any column is a 9, because once you have a 10, it has to go into the next column. If you're working out problems, you can kind of put 10 ones in there or 15 ones to do a subtraction, but that's another story. It's a little bit more than 5-minute maths, but a lot of maths in a little bit of time. Thank you for listening.